How much time does it take to build a sales operation? Hi, Patrick from Founder Revenue Academy. This episode is part of our operations series and is episode number 2. So let's get started. So when I get asked this question, the most frustrating and lazy answer to give is it depends. So I shan't do this because this isn't helpful to anyone, but I want to more go into the constituent elements of a sales operation. So let us start with the first question of what goes into one. The car is analogous to a sales operations or a sales engine, given the moving parts, but you need a motor, a chassis, wheels, seats, petrol, and a driver in order for it to move. So to take this rather crude analogy and apply it to startup life, you need to have identified the problem that you solve, what companies are the best fit for you, the people within those companies, and your general go-to-market strategy, which includes location, territory, channel. So when I say channel, phone, email, LinkedIn, things like that, and other considerations. And this all takes time. So you don't have and you won't have an operation without these building blocks in the first instance. So this is the right way to approach your market because it takes a value and outcome-based approach to your prospecting as opposed to a feature-led sales pitch, which you don't want. So being able to bed that in from day one is absolutely foundation to your business health and will set you off on the right path from here all the way through to your Series A funding, most likely. So next is to understand what you need in your tool bag to make a sale. So if you're watching this, you're likely going to be a founder of a very early stage startup. So the first few sales will come from you, and you'll need to learn very quickly what's required. So for example, understanding the outcomes you achieve, your proposed return on investment will be vastly different from sale 1 to sale 10. But this is the point. So every sales process you run will inform what the critical bits are for your sales operations, where the fat is, where you can trim some off, what you're missing, are you duplicating on anything, what needs to be emphasized, scaled back. This will be informed by your sales process and adherence to the sales process. And as you go through, you'll be able to mold your sales process because you need data in which to create a iterative and improved sales process. Then you need to consider the duration of a sales process from first conversation through to close. So let me give you a quick dose of reality. If you're selling to mid-market B2B technology companies, for example, then typically it will take between 90 and 100 days to close the deal as one. This is because there are different stages, different stakeholders involved, negotiations back and forth, etc., which is what we talk a lot about in length in the seed level course. But because of this, it takes time. So the reason for me saying this is to bring us back around to the question of how much time does it take to build a sales operation? So people think 3 months, but I suggest 6. So this is what you should budget for. So getting everything set up and a few sales processes completed successfully takes time. So imagine going through conceiving what your go-to-market is through to creating all of this collateral, prospecting, reaching out, meetings, and then running a 90-day sales process. This is what I mean about it's going to take 6 months. And this is how you need to think about it. So this is another important point. The question that we're asking is how much time does it take to build a sales operation? But we want to build a successful and repeatable sales operation, not just build something only for it to be tweaked a few weeks later or just a break. So another reason why it takes longer than you think is because of the iterative process of mechanizing what is a complicated and varied process. So whilst it might be something you want to hit in 3 months, maybe budget for 6. So identify your problem, identify what the outcomes are of fixing this problem, and run through the process a few times to understand gaps, then to go back and improve. So this takes, in my experience, 6 months minimum to do that. So that wraps up today's video. Remember, we create these videos a lot to help our founders and run these mini series and all the key pillars of scaling B2B tech startups. So if you haven't seen the other videos in this operations series or the other series at all, please check them out. And also don't forget to join our community with the link below, where you'll see all of this content and get to interact with many like-minded founders. So I'll see you in there.